Sony released the Zv-e1 as a content creator vlogging camera, but how is it to actually have the camera as your daily driver for your content as Instagram and YouTube? I've had the camera for now a little over 2 months. There's a couple of things that you need to know before you're gonna buy it. So this is the Zv-e1 together with the ECM-B10. I don't know if you can see, but the lens is actually bigger than the whole camera, basically. This camera also packs the same sensor as the A7S III and the FX3, which means that you have a 12 megapixel low light monster of a camera, and you also have the options of 422, 10-bit colors and 4K 120 frames per second, which means that you can slow down your footage like buttery smooth. So there's a couple of features the camera has, and one of those things is auto framing. And what auto framing does is that it makes the footage looks like it's been shot by someone else, if you can describe it like that. So it actually moves the picture around like it's being handheld shot by someone else. So another cool feature the camera has is the product AF setting, and that means that if I have something that I want to show off towards the camera, now the camera is focusing on my eye, but if I do this, it will snap onto something that you hold in front of the camera and then back to my face again. I see now it's getting kind of dark over here, so yeah, it's probably gonna rain now in just a couple of seconds. But there's another feature. You have your cine vlog look here. That means that you can get some black bars on the top here and some on the bottom. So it's gonna give the footage a more cinematic look. The bad thing is that this is how it's gonna look when you are importing it to your timeline. And there's like nothing you can't like fix when it comes to that. So it's time to get in the car because the rain is coming. I wasn't wrong about the rain. Now it's pouring down. While we are waiting for the rain to stop, let's talk a little bit about batteries, because in the camera you have your NP-FZ-100 batteries, and for those who are quite familiar about these batteries is that one battery lasts a long time. I would probably say that I can shoot a whole vlog easily on one battery, and if there's been some days I could probably say that I've been using maximum of 2 batteries. And talking about the NP-FZ-100 batteries, if you are getting this camera or another camera that has the same batteries, this one right here, this is a lifesaver and a life changer when it comes to batteries. So I don't have to say more than get one of these, because this is a proper investment. Since Sony introduced the auto-eye focus system, there is nothing you can complain about the autofocus system, because as what I am using the camera for, the autofocus system is like, it's flawless. So if you haven't been here before, my name is Linus, and welcome to the channel. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and why don't you like smash that subscribe button. When it comes to stabilization, you have the options of dynamic, active, steady shot, and what that does is that it almost eliminates the need for a gimbal when it comes to certain shots. As long as you're walking in a straight line, the camera's going to do a fantastic job of smoothing out your footage. But as soon as you're trying to do like small adjustments or like do something else than just walk in a straight line, the footage is going to come out like choppy, it's going to be like jittery, and yeah, it's not going to look that good. So let's mention a couple of bad things about the camera. Well, the first thing up is you only have one slot for your memory card. I probably wouldn't use this camera to shoot something very important as a wedding, because you always want to have like a backup recording of these kind of events and so on. But as a content creator here on YouTube and like doing things here at home, it's doing just fine. On the photography side, well, so 12 megapixel, well, it isn't that much. If you are gonna post photos on Instagram or taking like thumbnails photos here on YouTube, it's gonna do fine. But if you are more into photography and you wanna do like some bigger like blow-ups of your pictures and so on, I would say that don't go for this camera, because this camera right here is more focused on the video side. How does the camera feel in the hands? For someone who has like quite big hands, I would say that the ergonomic side of this camera, well, it isn't the best. So if you are one of those who are thinking a lot about the ergonomic side of cameras, this one isn't for you. There's nothing like good about the camera because the grip is so small. So the small like metal plates for the straps is actually like cutting into the hand. And if you are using the camera for a longer period of time, it's actually gonna hurt in the hand. That is also like the good side of the camera, is that it's so small that it's so easy to take with you everywhere. Another thing the camera is missing is a viewfinder. And for someone who has been taking photos for a very long time, this is something that I have been like having a hard time getting used to, because every time I'm about to take a photo, well, I bring the camera up to the eye and I was like, yeah, it doesn't have a viewfinder, so I have to do everything from the flip screen. And yeah, it's hard to getting used to, because it's like over 20 years of muscle memory that is just like, well, I can't use it. It might not bother everyone, but for me is that you're almost paying like $3,000 here in Sweden for a camera, and the package the camera comes in looks like, yeah, it doesn't look like something like expensive at all. I mean, the whole like Sony boxes, the A7 series comes in, it looks like a little bit more high-end, if you can call it that. But yeah, this one right here, yeah, there is room for improvement in the future, I think. I have to address the overheating issue. So far, I don't have the experience of having the camera overheated, but I think there's been a very close call when I was shooting like a longer segment of a vlog. While the sun was like directly into the car and I was having the camera on the dashboard, and it was getting really hot in the car, but the camera was like almost on fire. That is like the closest I have been to the overheating issue. And who is this camera like aiming towards? I would say that what I love about this camera is that it's aiming towards like everyone from a beginner to a more advanced videographer or photographer, because there's like, you can like start up the camera, just press record or just taking photos, and it will deliver really good quality. And the awesome thing about the camera is that you can also grow with the camera, because in the camera you have some like high-end features of a sensor from the A7S3 and the FX3, and you have the AI focus stuff from the A7R5. And you have like the possibilities to really squeeze out some high-end videos. Have the possibility to shoot S-Log3, which means they have a whole lot of room of dynamic range, which means that you can recover highlights, you can lift your shadows, a whole lot of new like options when it comes to like color grading the footage afterward. So since I got the Zv-e1, I've actually taken the camera with me even more than I did before, because the camera is so small that it fits like in your jacket, in your pockets, in your pants if you want it. And yeah, it's such an easy camera to have, and together with the quality that comes out of it, it's kind of like, I probably will regret if I don't bring the camera along with me. Yeah, I might have missed out on something about the camera, and if there is something you want to know about the camera, write a comment down below and I will do my best to give you a good answer. And if I don't know the answer, I will find out and give you the answer. And I hope to see you in the next one, so take care and don't get lost. Bye!